Well, how do you go from being farmers to building the most gorgeous, detailed, handmade clocks? It's a story you can find at a museum in Iowa as we travel the American countryside this weekend with Andrew McCrae.
Frank and Joseph Bily helped their parents on the farm, but it soon became apparent that they had a pastime that would become their full-time preoccupation.
Frank was the carver and Joseph was the designer, or engineer I like to call him, and he actually drew everything up on paper.
And when Sharon Cleve says they were carving and designing, what they were creating were some of the most intricate and amazing wooden clocks you'll ever see.
The first clock that they made was in 1913, called the Creation Clock, and from there it started. And I'm not really sure, I mean, they were carving before that, but I'm not sure why they started making clocks. But once they did, it just seemed like nothing else was important anymore.
Most of these clocks are taller than a person and have hand-carved figures that move and music that plays.
Anywhere from 2 to 4 years it took to make one of these clocks. I mean, we call them clocks, but as you can see, they're a lot more than that.
There are over 20 of these very large clocks to see. The entire collection the Bily brothers created.
The Apostles Clock is one of the favorites. Everybody who sees that really enjoys that. And the Village Blacksmith Clock is another one that's everyone's favorite.
Perhaps it would have been an interesting story, just known to locals, if not for a prominent man who paid the Bily brothers a visit in 1928.
I don't know how Henry Ford heard about these, but I'm sure that as wealthy as he was, I know he's probably sent his scouts out all over looking for things for his museum in Dearborn, Michigan. So he heard about these clocks, and he actually offered the Bily brothers $1 million for the clock that's behind us here. And they turned him down.
That's the American Pioneer History Clock. The offer would be worth $17 million today. The pair turned him down, but the publicity soon had people from all over the nation coming to the farm to see the clocks. The Bily brothers' sister, Anna, began charging 10 cents per head to see the collection. In 1947, the brothers sold the farm and moved to town when their parents passed away. Neither married, so they made arrangements for their priceless clocks to have a permanent home.
They actually willed them to the town of Spillville with the stipulation that they never be broken up in any way. The collection stayed together, nothing would ever be sold. So they stayed with the town.
These clocks mark the passing of time, yet the collection is truly timeless. Carvings of people and places that span centuries that still bring people here to rural Iowa to see the many clocks in this collection. Driving the countryside in Spillville, Iowa, I'm Andrew McCrae.
Thank you, Andrew. And you can watch more of Andrew's travels on AmericanCountryside.com. Well, when we come back, who pays for the solar energy that's popping up across the U.S.? Customer support is next.
Who's really paying for electricity?